Oh boy, guys, Toei has done it again. They have pissed off the entire internet once again. According to Toei Animation's official site, they plan to use AI in future productions for storyboard creation, coloring, automatic correction of Genga, and in-between frames, and generating backgrounds from photos. And you can see here, this is what they posted, and this is part of their process. Man, are we gonna get AI Dragon Ball and One Piece? Like, is this really happening? Now, they have not confirmed that the keyframes are not gonna be AI, not yet. Anyway, they still need the top artists and animators to do the keyframes, but they are phasing out quite a few of the jobs that go into the labor of the full anime. So basically all the background artists just lost their jobs, all the in-between animators just lost their jobs, and potentially directors may be losing their jobs as well, since they're the ones who typically do the storyboards. And it looks like a lot of colorists may be losing their jobs as well. That's a huge chunk of the employees who work on anime. And it basically seems like they're going to be keeping the directors and the keyframe animators, and they're going to shrink the other departments and start using AI. This is Samuel Dietz. He works on Castlevania, and he's saying this isn't a tool. This is theft, exploitation, and replacement of artists. This will stifle the future of artists everywhere. The future is utterly bleak. Every artist at Toei should speak out. And yeah, it definitely is replacement of artists, because in between animators, it's like an entry-level position. Those guys only get paid like $1 to $3 an hour. They literally get paid like $2 an hour on average. And they just sit there doing in-betweens over and over and over. But why it's important is because it is the stepping stone. It is basically like the first job you get. It's how you get your foot in the door in these animation studios. You have to start somewhere, and usually where people start is doing in-between frames. So if they cut that out completely, the repercussions for allowing new animators to enter the industry, like, well, what happens there? Do they just have to be like a web gen and get really popular on X before any studio will even raise an eyebrow to them? It seems like they're really cutting out all like the entry-level positions. And in an industry that's already dying, that's very peculiar. And these companies, they just want to make more money. It's all about the bottom line and the top dollar. And the anime industry in Japan already is horrible. I mean, it's basically slave labor. The production companies take the vast majority of the money, and then the executives at the top of the animation studio take whatever's left, and they literally just hand out scraps to the animators, telling them that this is our culture because you get to do something that's kind of fun and you want to do it, so we don't have to pay you much. They don't really have like a minimum wage over there, so they literally just get like $2 an hour, and they work day and night and they sleep under the desk. But that looks like it's going out the window. I mean, the keyframe animators and the directors, they can make decent money, although I don't know of any keyframe animators that are necessarily rich. Directors like Miyazaki, obviously, he's probably swimming in cash. But this is a huge blow to the anime industry, because if they set this precedent and other animation studios follow, you're basically seeing like the collapse of an entire industry of careers. Simultaneously, we're in an anime renaissance right now. We're getting some of the best animations we've ever seen, literally ever. It's seemingly every year they come out with some banger new anime that just blows everyone's top off. And what this is going to do more than anything is stifle new entries, new animators into the industry. And it's going to clean out the jobs of all the lower tier workers. For example, backgrounds always used to be hand painted, and now they can take a photo and using AI make it look like anime in the click of a button. So all those jobs are gone. I don't know about in-between frames being like perfect with AI, but if they've been developing this software for a few years, maybe it is to that point. Like, I'm wondering if the first episode that they release using this technology just looks like total garbage, what they're gonna do. But honestly, the sad part is, like, most of the viewer base really won't even tell the difference. If anything, they'll think it's higher quality. Most people, like, as sad as it is, most people just mindlessly absorb content. They don't really care how things are made. They just want to watch it. They want to watch it now, and then they want the next episode, and they don't want to pay. And I hate saying that, but it's just an unfortunate reality. Trust me, as someone who has created his own manga, the vast majority of people, they just want to watch it now and they want it free and they don't care how it's made, which should make sense because, I mean, look how many fans I got from Anime War. there was a base of angry people who didn't like how it was made, but Anime Wars still exploded. This is a post from Eva Koi. He's an industry animator. He says, be anime industry, make gazillions of USD per year. Don't pay anyone from the creative team even 10% of what you actually make. No one wants to be animators. Not enough animators. Toei invests in AI. Dear producers, maybe you shouldn't have greenlit 300 trillion new isekai adaptations, game adaptations. To start working as an animator right now, it's quite literally a nightmare unless you have years of experience. You're earning nothing because of how widespread the budgets are. It's actually brain dead how they favor a quantity over quality. Payments can be good, I know that from experience, but every animator who earns a lot because he does high quality stuff, there are dozens of animators who earn nothing. He thinks AI is being very forced right now by the same people who are just trying to make more money off the anime. And I think he's probably right. I mean, you have the production committee who gathers a big purse of money, and then they go to a studio and they say, hey, we like this Demon Rush manga, we want to turn it into an anime, we're going to give you $500,000 to produce it. So then the animation studio has to figure out how to use that $500,000 and pay all their staff and still somehow make a profit and produce a season of Demon Rush, for example. So then the production committee, they have the IP, they start licensing it to Crunchyroll and Amazon or whoever else. They run all the commercial ad slots and they make the majority of the money. And basically it's like this trickle down effect where the production committees get the vast majority and then the animation studio pays their animators peanuts so that they can make a profit. And the entire industry is just messed up, to be honest. It's the culture over there as well. And they haven't really tried too hard to fix it. I believe it was Studio Ghibli who tried recently to increase the pay for their animators, but it was not a trend that like followed through the entire industry, unfortunately. So looking at some of these comments here just to see like what the consensus is, and this kind of reinforces my idea that most people just really don't care how it's made. They just want more anime and they want it now. And what they don't realize, like the main repercussion of this is that 5 to 10 years down the road, creativity is going to be completely flatlined. So if you're firing all of the new coming animators, all the people who are trying to get their foot in the door to prove themselves, then you're going to be leaning on only the experts, which there is a declining species over in Japan. A lot of them are getting old, they're getting burnt out, and they're getting piled on with way too much work. They're not going to be able to do it forever. And when those people quit, guess what happens? You're going to have full anime made with AI, and it's going to be garbage because it's not going to be original. It's just going to be replications and copies of existing concepts. At this current point, and perhaps forever, AI cannot create new art. It can only steal and replicate ideas from real humans. And if you've ever seen AI trained on itself, it turns into mush. It cannot train itself. And we keep getting told that AI is going to evolve into AGI, kind of like the next level where it has intelligence that will be able to create original concepts. But there's many skeptics of that who say it's literally impossible to create intelligence. Like you cannot have a machine learn how to create because essentially that's the power of God, that God gave us that power to be able to create and destroy this reality how we see fit. And while AI may mimic intelligence, it'll never actually be intelligent. But I guess we'll find out in 5 to 10 years, right? Anime won't be the same in the next 10 years. Yeah, exactly. You're going to have way more anime and it's going to be slop. It's going to lose its value. I mean, part of the intrinsic value of anime in general is that it is just so unimaginably creative. It is like one of the epitomes of pure creativity in every frame and how everything is designed. If you know anything about putting a 2D animation together, you're talking about 24 pictures a second that you have meticulously designed to create a feel and an aesthetic and an emotion. And I think what this is going to do is just dumb people down. They're going to kind of get used to inferior quality. And I think that this is a very slippery slope because as time progresses and the technology increases, they're going to be able to get rid of more and more jobs. And it's really just about management making more money. They really don't care about the industry at all. And they're going to self-implode. Eventually, they're going to fire everybody who matters just to make more money. And then the anime won't be worth anything anymore. Nobody's going to care because you can literally type in a prompt and get an entire anime you want on your computer to watch tonight. So people have been trying to stop this, but unfortunately, we're just the peasants. You know, we can cry all we want on Twitter, but I don't think it's really going to change anything. I mean, these are the people in power. They have the money to invest. Only way we're going to get through this is to band together and use our money to pay each other and promote each other and stop giving this stuff attention. Terrible decision. The success One Piece is having is because of the artist's passion, like Vincent Chansard, for example. Replacing them with AI to save money and time is just stupid. Art takes time. Without it, it's just soulless content. Well, they're not going to get rid of Vincent Chansard. They're going to keep people like him who are like the top dogs in the studio. He's the guy who makes like all the best highlight reel animation in the episodes that go viral. But they'll fire everyone else. They'll probably have like a director and a couple keyframe animators, and they'll fire literally everyone else. For storyboard creation, yeah, I don't really understand this one. Like, why would you use AI for storyboard creation? Wouldn't you want a human to do the storyboard creation, at least like sketch out how the scene looks, and then have the AI maybe make it look a little better? Maybe that's what they're gonna do, but I don't think you can't replace the director, not yet anyway. So I think what's gonna happen, like in the short term, this might be kind of cool because we'll get like way more Dragon Ball or something, for example. But in 5 to 10 years from now, this is gonna like completely destroy the industry. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video.